What's going on, AIM Squad?
What's going on? Welcome back. Week 16 of football.
Thursday night football.
16 weeks have gone by.
We are heading into playoff territory, approaching wild card season.
Yes.
There is a lot of serious playoff implication. Games are becoming more and more important. We're approaching the flex week where, the NFL likes to put games in primetime slots because of how important the games are.
Exactly. Giving us a lot of maybe like a teaser of a Super Bowl matchups.
Potential
matchups that you get to see maybe now. And if they happen in the future, hey, who wins the game? But we're seeing a lot of good football coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yep. And speaking of good football, let's finish and discuss Sunday night.
Yeah, let's discuss Sunday night. We had 3 games.
We had 3 games coming into it. Alnoor, you were 14-25-3.
Yep.
I was 19-20-3. Our first game of the week, we had Pittsburgh visiting Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We called Philly to cover. We both called it.
Yeah, and
they flew. The Philly Eagles flew.
Yeah.
They hit. They showed Russell Wilson what's up. You come into the Eagles' nest. This is what's going to happen. It was a good game.
It was a really good game, yeah.
But Russell Wilson wasn't able to kind of keep up. But we knew Philadelphia had a lot to prove.
A lot to prove. The passing game started. A.J. Brown got that touchdown.
Yep.
Everything was calm and, the brotherly love, city of brotherly love. And they came out and showed why, that's what the city they are.
Yep.
And now they are favored to win the Super Bowl.
They are, yeah. They definitely can show that they can definitely hold their own. But luckily, we both hit. So that was that.
Yeah, there you go.
Next game, was Buffalo versus Detroit.
Ooh, that was another potential.
That was a tough game.
That was a fun game.
It was a fun game. I'll say that. It was fun to watch.
Like, Josh Allen said, hey, I'm MVP.
Like, potential Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, and that defense showed up, even though they were missing a whole bunch of pieces. Yes, Jared Goff went off, scored a lot of touchdowns. But Buffalo said, hey, listen, if you guys think you guys can go through us to win the Super Bowl, you better think again, because the NFC, may looks tough, but the AFC is a tough conference.
Oh, buddy.
But yeah, Buffalo came out.
They did.
And, won the game.
Yep.
Close call, the onside kick. But we knew Dan Campbell was a head coach that likes taking risks.
Yeah.
12 minutes, onside kick really could have changed the game if he really didn't do that. But hey, we're not the coach. They make the call. Detroit took the loss. And on top of that, took the loss of Montgomery.
Oh, yeah.
He's out for the season, too. So another injury woes.
Yeah.
Right? It hurts their, time maybe to win the Super Bowl. But let's see. But that was a big game.
And was it Montgomery or Gibbs?
Montgomery.
Oh, Montgomery.
Montgomery, yeah. Gibbs is good.
Gibbs is healthy. He's now undisputed. Starting, of course. So for those who are debating playoff season fantasy between the two, it's Gibbs all the way. But I'll finish off by saying Josh Allen's different.
He's a different breed.
He's different. Goff is good. Like, he almost made the comeback. But Josh Allen's different.
Like, he just comes out, he runs, he knows what I don't know, he just has his magic touch him. He's playing the game football freely. He's not stressed. There's no hunch on his back, no monkey on his back. But yeah, let's just get into it. It's a tough loss. We're praising Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But, he didn't get...
He didn't get the dub, but he made it a contest.
He made it a contest. Good game overall.
Yeah.
But yes, we took a loss on that one, as my brother and I both had Detroit -2, but didn't go through. We took the loss.
It happens.
It happens. You win some, you lose some.
But then we got the third game.
The third game was a big game on Sunday night.
We had Green Bay visiting Seattle in Seahawks territory.
Yeah.
Green Bay, we both called Green Bay to cover -2.5, and they did.
They did.
They showed up and showed out, and I think it was a fun matchup. We saw Jordan Love throwing the ball.
Yeah,
right.
He was comfortable out there.
He's comfortable. Jaden Reed was a little quiet on the receiver end, but I know he kind of stepped up on the rushing side of things too. I think they're trying to get him a more versatile play, but Geno just wasn't able to come through.
Yeah, and then he got injured on that one play.
Yeah.
Then he was out, and then they put in Sam Howell, and Sam Howell hasn't really played with the first string people, so he was afraid to throw the football.
Yeah.
You saw him run, scram, try to make the play continue, but he didn't know what to do with it. And as soon as Geno went down, that whole Seattle offense just was deployed. Like, they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And it cost them the game.
It did.
Cost them even a chance for the playoffs anyways, too. So, it's a tough loss for them there.
Rebuild starts for them.
Yeah, rebuild starts for them. It sucks it has to happen, 3 weeks left or 2 weeks left until they know the season.
Tough.
But hey, at the end of the day, not to be rude, it kind of benefited us. We had Green Bay -2.5.
Yeah.
They came out, they won the game. So overall, Sunday night football, my brother and I had the same picks all across the board. We ended up going 2-1.
Yep.
So a positive one from a couple, myself had a goose egg the week before that. So we're back in the positive territory, 2-1.
Yep.
And now our records are Irshad.
So I'm back at 500, 21,
There you
21, and 3. Alnoor's on the search, 16, 26, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
But that's Sunday. We got to close out our props and parlays.
Yes. Oh,
We
yes.
had Anytime TD, Mr. Chuba Harper, Mr. Canada.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't get the dub. We missed that one. He picked up some good yardage.
He did, though. He had a couple of chances. They had in there, too. But, hey, it just wasn't in our favor.
No. And then we had our parlay.
We had a parlay. Parlay was a fun one.
Yeah.
We talked about all kicking here. Over 2.5 field goals, Houston, Miami. That was done in the first half, if I'm not mistaken.
That hit. Easy.
And then we had another 2.5 field goals between Tampa Bay and the Chargers.
Yeah.
Easy. They just love kicking field goals. It was the Buffalo-Detroit game where we needed field goals. And I think there was only maybe one.
Yeah. It was a shootout.
It was a shootout at that point,
like,
right? We didn't expect it to be... I personally expected it to be a low defensive game.
Yeah.
Stop them on downs, get them kick the field goal, let them earn the points. But here it was, hey, score as you will. You know, come into my house, score. I can go back to your house, score.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going back and forth. See who can outduel each other and who can stay the longest.
And just never had the need for field goals.
Never need field goals. So
And that was that.
That costed us our parlay there. But it's okay. We have another one cooked up this week.
Don't you worry. Tune in. Stay tuned. We got some
Yes.
more here. Then we have our fantasy. So our daily fantasy lineup, we had Joe Burrow as our quarterback.
Yeah.
We had Mixon, Jacobs, Amon-Ra, JJ,
Yes.
McBride,
Ooh.
Ravens defense, and Dicker the kicker.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Collectively, it wasn't our best show out, but definitely wasn't our worst. We had 138.3 points
Not bad.
across the board, and that was saved by Amon-Ra and
That late touchdown he
late
had
touchdown.
too.
That was solid. I mean, the comeback in the Detroit game, big point getter. Not a problem though. Wasn't our worst. Wasn't our best.
Yeah.
Definitely
We
top
passed
5.
century mark though.
We did pass century.
So-
138. That was a solid outing for us. That's exactly what we aimed to do. But now Sunday's done.
Sunday's done.
Now we got to get into Thursday.
A whole new week.
Now Thursday football obviously is a little different for me and
Yes.
Alnoor.
Yes.
So Alnoor's record on Thursday is on the positive. He's 9-6-1. I'm 4-11-1. And we got an interesting divisional matchup tomorrow.
Yes. All these divisional matchups.
I love these.
I love these.
We have the Broncos visiting the Chargers,
Mm-hmm.
where the Chargers are favored -3. So, Alnoor, let me throw it to you first. What do you think? What's your call? Let them know.
This is a big division game. Let's just get it started off by how key of this game is for both teams. You look at the standings right now, and you have the Denver Broncos sitting in the second wild card spot. So you're looking at the 6th seed right now, and then you have the Chargers sitting at the 7th seed. Hence, that team is going to play Buffalo
Yeah.
Chargers. Nobody wants to play Buffalo first round playoffs.
Not at all.
Now, if the Chargers want to save themselves, they got to go on and win this game against a divisional rival to have the same record as them.
Yep.
Maybe own the tiebreaker, win another game or two in a couple of weeks, and they'll finish ahead and maybe play the winner either between the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
Those two seeds at the bottom 6 and 7 are the most dangerous seeds. But we've seen in recent playoffs where teams who are the bottom wildcard seeds have gone on and made a run in the playoffs.
Yep.
And it's happened previous years. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think the Chargers here at home, Justin Herbert, Harbaugh was assigned here to secure a playoff spot. That was his first goal.
Yeah.
A win here gives them a guaranteed playoff spot. Beating a divisional rival here, 3 points. Yes, divisional games, I said before, must be 3 points because it's a hit or miss. Either or, it's a field goal game.
Yep.
I think Dicker, the kicker here, kicks the one. I think this game goes into a push, but I like the Chargers -3, my brother.
I mean, I can appreciate that, and I can understand that. I mean, how I look at it this way is you have Bo Nix of earlier this season.
Yeah.
He's really come into his own as of late, right? I mean, there's still got definitely an upswing to go, but he's definitely come a little bit better, right? Not to mention the defense for the Broncos has definitely stepped up. They're tied with the Chargers tied first for how many points allowed, which is pretty solid. But then you also have their yardage. So that's pretty solid. One thing I'll also kind of bring up is when we look at, Thursday night generally for home teams, it's a problem, okay? Thursday night home teams are 46-57-1 since 2019 against the spread, okay? That includes a 41-50-1 against the spread in night Thursday games, which this is, right? However, Bo Nix, like I said, he's a rookie, but he is playing decent. Okay? He is getting the start, so we know this. But how we look at it this way is it's also the coaching. Sean Payton leading, his veteranship, leading a very novice QB is going to be interesting. Okay? When his teams throw an interception in consecutive games, he is 34, 32, and 2 against the spread as a head coach. But when he's listed as an underdog, which he is tomorrow, 12, 6, and 1. So almost twice as likely to actually cover the spread. Now, you take that even further. Bo Nix is great on the road. As a starter, he is 6-1 against the spread on the road, covering by 6 points per game. Which means, and he shares this record with Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff. So definitely some of the elites, okay? Sean Payton as well is also great on the road. He's 79, 59, and 3. Nearly 57% of the time, he covers against the spread, which is great. This season, Sean Payton is 2-0 against the spread in the night game. And this is also great as well because on short rest, he is 1-0 against the spread with Bo Nix. And in his career, 24, 18, and 1 against the spread, including a 9-6-1 as an underdog. All of this to show that this is pretty well resounding for a rookie Bo Nix, a Broncos defense, a Broncos offense, and Sean Payton's career. You couple that with the fact that Justin Herbert threw his second interception of the season last week against the Bucs. Though it's kind of been difficult when, they're throwing interceptions, they are 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games when the Chargers have thrown an interception at any point in the game. Okay, so that is going to be a key takeaway for the game tomorrow. At the same token, it is important to know Mr. Third Player.
Yes, Mr. Third Player.
And tomorrow's third player is none other
than
Mr. Cleve Blakeman.
Ooh. Is it Clay Blakeman? I thought it was Clay Martin.
Oh, sorry, Clay Martin.
Yes,
Apologies.
Clay Martin.
Clay Martin. Now, Clay Martin, true home teams are 37, 52, and 2 against the spread. Divisional home teams are 9 and 19 against the spread. Okay? Now, this is, of course, 2023, but this is pretty substantial.
Yes.
He does not like home teams.
No, not at all.
So this is
a Division 2?
And divisional game. So this is how I take it. I take the fact that one of the more important players on the ref doesn't like home teams. He has a track record of not liking home teams. It's a divisional matchup in sunny LA. And then you have a divisional matchup with Herbert struggles. And then you have, again, playing an opponent that is on the upswing with Sean Payton leading the charge, Bo Nix quarterbacking. I'm calling Denver +3.
Ooh. Okay, that's a tough... I like that too, but
I'm calling Devin +3.
I still like the Chargers. I think they're more hungry. I think Herbert plays really well on short rest. He averages, 32 points a game on short rest, so he's coming out slinging.
He's coming out, oh yeah.
He's coming out firing in all cylinders, and it's going to be a shootout. Will Denver's defense keep up? We're going to have to find out. But my gut says the Chargers, especially with Clay Martin last week, they played San Francisco at home, divisional against the Rams. It was a field goal game. 49ers didn't cover. I don't think he goes back-to-back on Thursday games, disliking the home team, favoring the road team for them to cover.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel this game is a push. Me personally, I'm going to put Chargers to win by 3 exactly. My brother and I will get another push, and we don't have to worry about it.
It's a field goal game. That's great.
Field goal game. That's what division games should be. Field goal games, right? But there we go. So you have it right there, ladies and gentlemen. I, myself, am going with the Chargers -3.
And I'm going Broncos, Bo Nix, Sean Payton, +3.
Hardball. Give me hardball.
That's what it is. I mean, hey, the plus, the even number, gives us the ability to get a push.
Exactly.
Could be a potential. But there it is. You heard it here. But let's get on to our anytime touchdown parlays. So anytime touchdown.
Yes.
We're going to start off with the wide receiver. Probably the best wide receiver on the field right now.
Yeah.
Sutton. Anytime TD.
Yeah. Aside from McCartney, from Herbert with the Chargers, but he's a little banged up. But
he is, yeah.
The Chargers defense, I think Sutton will find his way, going to the slot, be able to slip in there. He's catching the ball.
Quick slant route, easy. Bo Nix.
And Bo Nix favorite target. He loves throwing at him.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a favorable matchup for him. And was it 3.1 times your money?
3.1.
3.1 times your unit. That's really juicy. Sun's finding the pain.
Yeah,
Lock that in. We believe it.
Then we have our parlay.
Ooh, the fun part.
The fun parlay, we're keeping in theme with our kicking. So we're saying over 2.5 field goal.
Yes.
So definitely lock that in. We think that's going to happen in sunny California.
Yeah, a lot of kicking going on. But at the same time, we're going to see these quarterbacks show off their arm.
Yep.
They're going to come out, start throwing the football, finding Sutton, for example, the end zone. We have both teams combined in the game over 2.5 passing touchdowns. Not rushing, passing.
Across the board, which has happened in the last matchup on October 13th. Was that week 6?
Yeah.
It has happened. Both scored. So definitely is precedent for it to happen again. But given the shootout, we anticipate last time they played, it went over the 37.5. We don't think it's going to go over substantially, but we are going to hedge the spread and do an alternate spread.
Yes.
And do an under 58.5.
There we go. No shootout here.
No shootout. I mean, it gives them plenty of room for potential overtime, a divisional head-to-head. But yes, we've alternated the spread. The spread line is 41.5. We think it may actually go over. It was too close to call. But you know what? We'll bring it back down to a bit of reality to hedge our bet. Under 58.5 for a AIM Sports risk of times 3 your money.
There we go.
So that's pretty solid. Over 2.5 field goals in the game. More than 2.5 touchdowns thrown across the game. Passing touchdowns. And under 58.5 total score times 3 your unit. Lock that lay in.
Lock that lay in. I like that lay. I like the hedge on the under points, right?
Yeah. Just if they want to go in a shootout,
it's a safety blanket. It's safety for us. We can still hit it. Yeah. We'll get the overs. But yes, let's not get sidetracked and let's head into fantasy.
There we go.
Fantasy, one position, one player, both sides. Let's get it started. Quarterback, Herbert.
Yep.
He's slinging. He doesn't throw interceptions. The Chargers win the game.
Yep.
But hey, he's going to come out slinging. He's not going to stop throwing. He's not going to be shy with it.
No.
He's just going to just keep going at it, which leads us to our running back. We got Gus Edwards.
Yep.
Gus is going to be here. He's the number one running back for Herbert. He's going to be a safety blanket, even if he gives him a little check down. Denver's running back situation, we don't know who we're going to get. If they play the hot hand, that's what Sean Payne's always been like. We don't want to take the risk. We'll stick with Gus Edwards. Wide receiver, matches our anytime touchdown score. We got Sutton. He's going to find the paint. He's going to get the most points for us technically on our fantasy team, which leaves us to 3 other positions my brother will let you know from starting with tight end.
So we got Stone Smart. Obviously, he's taken up a big pair of shoes here from the injury, but he has been keeping up, right?
Yeah.
He's a quick kind of outlet, the quick check down. Why not? Stone Smart has shown that he's capable of catching his targets. I think he's going to continue being that fail-safe for the quarterback. Then we have the defense Broncos. Both Chargers and Broncos are tied first for the amount of points given as a defense. We think the Broncos come out a little bit ahead on the passing yards, keeping Herbert locked up. And as we mentioned earlier, an INT from the Broncos and in the pass for Herbert makes them potentially a dangerous thing, or dangerous, I guess, outcome for Herbert and the Chargers, where he goes 1-8 against the spread. So Broncos will be looking for that hawk.
Special teams too, punt return, kick return.
All that could be easily possible.
A lot possible, right? So,
and then we have our kicker, Lutz from the Broncos. It was between Dicker and Lutz. We figured Lutz would be a little bit of a safer bet, especially if Herbert gets out early, get the home field advantage. Lutz has to be there to keep them in it.
Yeah.
And we think Lutz is going to come out sunny California, sunny LA.
He's been kicking them.
He's going to be kicking them.
Yeah.
That's it at SoFi. So there it is. You have it. Our daily fantasy lineup. You have our game of the week, which is the Denver versus Chargers game. Anytime touchdown and our parlay. Definitely lock that in. And it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. But before we end the show, we got to find games of interest for next week. Because there's 3 weeks left for football.
Yeah.
And we got exciting games. We even got a couple of games on Saturday, too. We got 2 big games on Saturday.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good games to watch, too. We got a lot on Sunday, too. Let's throw one out there we see. I'll throw one out there right now, too. Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders.
Yep.
That's a big division game right there. 9-5, 12-2. Washington gets the win. They secure a playoff spot.
Yeah.
It's a big game for them. Philly's like, hey, we want to continue riding the top spot in the standings. We want to go second, especially like we even said in last week's podcast too, right? With Detroit. If Detroit takes a loss, they don't want to lose that number 1 spot.
Nope.
And Philly has the same record as them. So they want to keep winning because if Detroit loses again this week, And who's Detroit playing this week? Chicago? Yeah. They lose this week, they're gone. That's a big game.
That's a big game. I mean, another one there that I'm going to add is another big game. Divisional matchup, Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Yeah.
Huge game.
Huge game on Saturday.
Huge game.
Huge game.
It's a 1 versus 2.
Yeah.
This could have major implications because Baltimore is right now outside looking in.
Yeah.
Right? You have Pittsburgh that already has clinched playoffs, but this could be very important because if they secure it, it definitely secures them in the wild card.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So definitely going to be a matchup to watch out for.
Yeah, another one I see is Geno Smith is healthy. He practiced. Minnesota Vikings, Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
In Seattle again, Geno gets a W. He has a slim chance to make the playoffs, but hey, at least he keeps it alive.
Yeah.
That's going to be another big game to watch too as well.
Another game is going to be 1 versus 1. The Texans against the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, another Saturday game. Ooh, big game.
Another big game. It's going to be a solid matchup. You have a lot of firepower on both teams. Patty Mahomes doing Patty Mahomes things.
Yeah.
So it would definitely be a good game to watch just for the sheer fact. I know it's cross-conference, cross-division, but it's high-powered offenses.
Yeah, it is.
Why not?
Why not? Another game, since we love division games out here. Thanksgiving rematch. Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Right, big game there. Detroit's favored by 7. Right, they lost Montgomery. This is going to be a big game.
That's going to be a solid game.
Yeah.
And then I probably think one of the more interesting ones here that I'd take, just because I'm curious, because divisional matchups always change the dynamic, is the Patriots and Bills. I know people are sleeping on it. I know. It says it's the Patriots, but it's a divisional matchup.
minus 14 the spread.
Minus 14. Do I think they're going to cover? I don't know. Divisional matchups always are interesting. They're always interesting because it changes the dynamic. So
it does. So there you guys have it. A couple of games a week, all hot games of the week.
There you go.
All aim hot games. Like it's just woo. I just can't wait to pick those games. But yeah, it's gonna be an exciting game there.
Good football on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
And Christmas is right around the corner too. Next week you'll have games on Wednesday.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great week for football.
Great week of football, good holidays. I'm excited for it. But yes, recap what we got. I myself got the Chargers minus 3. My brother got Denver plus 3.
Yeah.
We got Sun anytime touchdown score. Our parlay, let's just read it out there. We got over 2.5 field goals. We got over 2.5 passing touchdowns, under 58.5.
And then we got our fantasy. We have Herbert as quarterback, Gus Edwards running back, Sutton as a wide receiver, Stone Smart as a tight end, Broncos as our defense, and Lutz as our kicker.
Oh, that's a fire lineup. I like that.
Lock that in.
Enjoy Thursday football. Get ready for some holidays. Some popcorn, some hot cocoa, some eggnog. However you want to enjoy it. Peppermint, white chocolate if you want to get a little bougie. You just got to just enjoy it. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the holidays. Bet responsibly. Bet what you can afford.
Yep.
From AIM Sports, my brother and I, we love you guys for tuning in. Let's eat and let's watch some good football.
There you go.
We're out. Peace.